Alors justement, ce qui est un tout, on a parlé du couple, on a parlé du fils, il y a la crise dans le couple, la crise de l'adolescence, quand on passe de l'adolescence à l'âge adulte, la crise de la cinquantaine. Finalement, tous vos personnages au sein d'une famille, on est en permanence dans une quête et je trouve que le titre de votre livre, Nous, il est vraiment très très fort.
Yes, you know, it wasn't called, when I was writing the book, it was called something completely different. It was called Married Love, all the way through the writing. And Married Love didn't seem to take into account the son. And as I was writing the novel, the son became more and more important. This idea of a man desperately trying to win his son's love, trying to work out how the uncomplicated love he felt for him as a baby turns into something much harsher and more difficult. So yeah, Us seemed a better title because it sort of encompassed the idea of a family and a man who was terrified of being alone, terrified of no longer being part of New. And that seemed a much better title than Married Love.
Alors, autre point important, c'est le voyage. Vos personnages, ils passent à Paris, à Amsterdam, Munich, Vérone, Venise, Florence, Rome, Naples. Toutes ces villes européennes, moi, en tant que lecteur, je les ai prises comme des personnages secondaires dans votre roman. Est-ce que c'est ce que vous vouliez nous proposer?
I'm pleased to hear that because, you know, I really love these cities. After I wrote my last novel, Un jour, I did a lot of traveling. And I would find myself in hotels, in cities that I didn't know, just wandering the streets and really falling in love with a lot of these places, even though they were very difficult, often a little bit lonely, mysterious and strange to me, new to me. So I wanted to write about these cities in an enthusiastic way, but also, yeah, to make them each very different, to make each city fit the story, and to be realistic about travel, which can be mind opening, but can also be boring and tense and difficult and frustrating. So to write a kind of realistic travel book, but to write about cities that I really love, like Paris.
Alors, il y a autre chose dans votre roman. Il y a la présence de la photographie, par le personnage du fils. Il y a l'art qui est important. Quelle importance, justement, vous donnez à l'art par rapport à votre roman et plus largement dans notre société? Quelle importance a l'art pour vous?
I'm not like Douglas at all, except I suppose that, like him, I love art without really being able to understand it, without feeling confident in my appreciation. I mean, I'm a little more knowledgeable than Douglas, but for me, I've always been a bit self-conscious in an art gallery. I never know quite what I'm looking for, quite what I'm meant to feel, quite if I'm responding in the right way. And I wanted to write about art with enthusiasm, but from the point of view of someone who feels anxious. You know, as the novel goes on, he becomes more relaxed and more spontaneous in his response to the art. But I also wanted the art to fit the story. You know, for each painting, each important painting in the novel, to be like an illustration almost of the novel. That seemed to me to be interesting, and even though I don't know much about art, I loved having an opportunity to write about it.
David Nicholls, un grand merci pour cet entretien. Je rappelle le titre de votre roman dont j'invite les internautes à devenir lecteurs. Ça s'appelle Nous et c'est disponible aux éditions Belfond. C'est vraiment un très très beau roman. Vous nous invitez au voyage, à la quête, à la réflexion. Il y a énormément de thèmes abordés au sein de la famille, du couple, le fait d'être parent. C'est vraiment très bien fait. Un grand merci à vous.
Si, c'est très gentil. That's all the French I know, but it's very kind. Thank you.